This is Lewis Hart for the Ring Magazine. Delighted today to be joined in London with Mr. Showtime, Shawn Porter. Yeah, we're here in London ahead of the launch of, not launch, but the party of Undisputed, the new game. Before that, how's things? How are you? Enjoying your time?
I am actually. This is my third, maybe fourth trip to London. This is probably the best time I've had so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously here for the Undisputed game.
Yeah.
Good to see a boxing game on the main stores and live on the consoles. How good do you think it is to have a game like Undisputed?
I'm sorry, one more time.
How good is it to have a game like Undisputed?
It's pretty awesome. You know, I like to say this. Most of us watched or played the Fight Night games. Yeah. Can't wait to be on them. You know, Fight Night went away. I think most of us, our dreams of being in the game went away. Undisputed comes, and here we are, man. This really is, it's unique, it's special. It's about goddamn time, you know, the list kind of goes on from there.
I was going to say there, did you have much memories of like the Fight Night games and then the boxing games going on?
I'm not a gamer, I didn't, you know, but it was like, you played Madden. If you were a football player, you wanted to be in Madden. You played NBA 2K, you wanted to be, you know, so for us it was the boxing game, you know, so even though I wasn't much of a gamer, I did play it, and I have enjoyed the times I've been able to play Undisputed as well.
Yeah. I do have to ask you as well, I saw you sparring Conor Benn today. Yeah, how was that? How was those rounds, I guess? You've been retired for quite a few years, but how was it?
You know, most people say I don't look as old as I am. I definitely felt as old as I am today. Conor's, he's a talent, man, much more athletic and gifted than I knew he was. I like this right here the most. Yeah. We hung out a little bit about a month ago, hung out again today. This right here, man, this is gonna get him where he wants to go.
Yeah. How much sparring have you done since you've been retired?
Not much.
Yeah.
I haven't sparred with very many grown men. Most of it, I do a lot of sparring at the gym that I'm helping the kids with the amateur program. I spar with those kids because I don't want them to hurt one another. But other than that, you know, I got in the ring earlier this week with Shakur.
I saw that,
and then getting in the ring with Conor Benn today. I would say I've done maybe 10 serious rounds since 2021. So, yeah.
For yourself, Shawn, like you're happily retired, you're not going to come back. So what is the motivation behind like doing the sparring?
You know, the motivation was this, the Porterway podcast, right?
Okay, yeah.
So we take the podcast around, and I said, you know what? We're going to start doing some pop-ups in the gyms. Yeah. Whatever city we're in, we're going to pop up in the gym. 8-year-old, 10-year-old, 15-year-old, whoever's in there, girl, boy, we're going to spar with them and just give them a fun experience. And then with Shakur, he's been asking me to spar since 2019-ish. Yeah. And he started at sparred a couple of rounds with Fernando Vargas, his son.
Course, yeah.
Shout out to those guys. Armando, I sparred with Armando. And he said, man, I see you sparring. Can I get some rounds? So I sucked it up. I gave him some. I really wanted to get in the ring with Conor, see what he had. So I might keep this going a little bit. We'll see.
I was going to say, because I see Andre Ward, he's another fighter who's happily retired. I still see him sharing around. I'm Joshua Boatsy a few days ago. Does it keep you like mentally right? Or?
For me, it's another opportunity to do something in the boxing game, you know? I've done it in the ring. I've been the commentator. I've been the analyst. I've been the podcaster. And I've always been kind of the a iconic figure to the game from a standpoint of just wanting to give my best version of myself. And I just feel like this is the next step.
Yeah, absolutely. I did want to ask you about a couple fights. Sparring Conor Benn today, what do you think of his fight with Chris Eubank Jr.?
I think it's going to be an interesting fight. I think time is on his side. I think that the energy, the youth, the strength that he has is on his side. You can't count out Chris Eubank. Seeing his comeback, the emerging that he's made in the last 2 or 3 fights has been pretty amazing, honestly. So I think that's a good fight.
When you look at the weight discrepancy between the two, how much of a factor do you think that could be?
I don't think it's going to be a factor.
Okay.
I don't. Maybe the reach and the height that Eubank has could give Conor some problems. Ben could give him some problems, but I tell people this all the time. You fight at 47, you're rocking around at 60, 65. Yeah. You fight at 60, you're walking around at 70, 75. And the list kind of goes on from there. So he's not losing much weight to get there, and he'll be comfortable on fight night.
Another fight I did want to ask you about, former opponent of yours, Terence Crawford, potentially fighting Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah.
Another big weight discrepancy. What do you think of that? Does the weight play a factor there?
I just said it, you know? And Terence is already taller than him, you know, has the reach, you know? I'm telling y'all, that's a 50-50 fight.
Okay.
That's a 50-50 fight. It's actually perfect timing for both guys. Canelo Alvarez is losing big name fighters to fight against. There's really no one else with a big name for him to fight against. Benn deserves that fight, but his status isn't the level that Canelo, you know, kind of forced it with the young kid that he just got in the ring with. Edgar Berlanga. He forced it with Edgar, you know. And he's that guy that you can get people to come to the fight no matter who you're in the ring with, you know. But all that being said, same thing for Terence. Terence is fighting a Canelo Alvarez who's been around the block. Canelo Alvarez who's been in quite a few wars. And, you know, I think it's perfect timing for both guys.
Last question from myself. A big fight in the welterweight division. Boots against Stanionis. Obviously I know for yourself you've had quite an opinion on Boots over the last few years, but how important is this fight for Jaron and for the division?
Shout out to the Porter podcast. I just said this on the podcast. 2025 needs to be the year of Boots, okay? Needs to be the year of Boots. You might get Canelo and Terence. You might get, you know, obviously we get Benavidez and Morrell tomorrow night. Amazing fight, you know? But this has to be the year of Boots. He's got to do something and do it 2 or 3 times. And it has to be so big that people say, that was all great, but Boots clearly has next, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Shawn, a pleasure to speak to you, mate. Really good to catch up. And as always, shout out to the Porterweight podcast, mate.
Send me the check, all right?
I wouldn't.